Hello, my name is Emily from Thermo Fisher and I'm here to talk to you about what makes a good CV. So in the course of my work, I interview quite a lot of people for various roles within my team. And the first thing I do is assess CVs that I receive. Typically, I could receive between 10 and 30 CVs for a particular role. So I do a quick scan and check as I look through the CVs, and I decide and put them into a yes, no and maybe pile. So how would you get your CV onto the yes pile for being considered for an interview? The first thing I look at in my scan down the CVs is, are the CVs professionally presented? By that I mean, have you laid the CV out? Has it got clearly identified sections with headers? Is it really easy for me to see at a glance what you're trying to tell me? I want the CV to be easy to navigate, and by that I mean that I can at a glance get the information I need about you and about the information you're trying to give to me. So the sections within there, your little personal statement at the top, your qualifications, your skills, your experience, your hobbies, have those in clearly identified sections. And rather than including a paragraph of information, I'd rather see you laying that out in clear bullet points, and each bullet point refers to one particular piece of information that you're trying to convey to me. People sometimes struggle with the personal statement part of the CV. This is just 2 or 3 sentences at the beginning that give me a word snapshot about you. You have to remember that I don't know you. This is the first contact I'm going to have with you. So I want to look at that personal statement snapshot and think, you know what, this is the sort of person I would like to work in my team. Use that to sell yourself. Don't try and be funny. You're not applying for a job as a comedian. You're applying for a job within a professional team. So I would like it to be factual, to the point, and really selling yourself to me. It's important that you tailor the CV to the role for which you're applying. So by that, I mean, think about the job description, think about the role, think about your skills and experience, and really pick out those things that are relevant to that particular job, that provide evidence to me that you're the right person for me for this particular role. Another thing that people sometimes struggle with is the length of the CV. Now, as a recruiter, I'm not particularly hung up on the length of a CV. It's very nice where people can condense the information onto one side or maximum 2 sides of A4. But as your career evolves and you get more skills and experience, what is important is that the information you're giving me is relevant. If the CV is slightly longer, but the information is relevant, then I want to see it. So please don't feel limited, but make sure you are tailoring the information so that it is important information that I need to know. Work experience is another area of the CV that I think, particularly when you're starting out in your career and your job applications, that you may struggle with. So think about not just work experience, because you may say to me, look, I'm only 15, 16 years old. I don't have a job. I don't have any work experience. Think of things that are work-like, things like volunteering, things like doing some sponsored work, things like maybe babysitting or helping a relative or a friend with something like, I don't know, organising a party. These things are work-like, and they show that you have experience that would be relevant to a work situation. So please think about everything that may be appropriate and that may interest me, particularly in relation to the role that you want, and put that down on the CV. My final sort of top tip for what makes a good CV is, when you've completed your CV and you've completed it for a particular job, read it through and ask yourself this question very honestly. If I were recruiting for this role, would I invite myself for interview? And if the answer is no, look back and think of the things that the recruiter, me, would want to see. And it may be a good idea to also ask a friend or a family member to read your CV and give you some feedback as to how you might improve it. So think about these points, sell yourself, and good luck.